Hey everyone, so as promised, I'm going to talk about and share our family's natural antibiotic that we have been using very successfully for we're at least 6 years already. And we're talking, this is coming from a family who, my first daughter had chronic ear infections. She actually was on antibiotics so often that we were literally one ear infection away from her having to get tubes. So she was on penicillin a lot. She actually developed an allergy from being on so much penicillin, so she can't have any of the cephalosporin group of antibiotics. So thank goodness we came up with something different, because as we know, there are life-saving drugs, but antibiotics themselves can really wreak havoc on your digestive system, on the lining of your gut. And that's really important, because that's another cause of leaky gut syndrome, right? When things just get inflamed and we start allowing all these toxins and bacteria and viruses to seep into there. So I'm going to share with you what we do. It's really simple. I'm not a trained medical professional, but I want to tell you, when something works, it works. I've done a lot of looking into this. I'm going to share some of that with you. And I will just want you to understand, if you feel concerned at any time about your child, you know them best, or not just your child, but anyone in your family that you're suggesting this to, you'll know in your heart when it's time to go to the doctor. But I know my kids, I know the reactions. One thing I always look for, fevers are good. When they have fevers, I don't run to the doctor. If they're responding well to me and they're drinking water and they're peeing, we're good. The body needs to heat up the temperature. A lot of people, we've kind of been scared off by, if they have a high fever, I better get to the doctor. Guys, it's not the fever itself that is the problem. Our body was created to, when there is a bacteria, there's a virus, there's something that's trying to fight, the way that it kills it is to get hot. Now, what we typically do is we will pull out the Advil, we'll pull out the Tylenol, we'll do whatever we have, and then we quickly slam down that fever. Now, from the body's perspective, it's thinking, my defense mechanism was just taken away. Now I have to get even hotter. That temperature will spike quickly and often higher, and that's where you run into the risk of seizures. Now, there are instances where you can do all those right things and a seizure happened because of some other known issue. So that's why I say, you know your children, you know your family history, so go based on that. I'm just talking to you in a more generic form and explaining to you how fevers work in the body. So my kids have often had higher fevers, quite high fevers, but I know the signs to look for. And I find when they have had a fever, we're not dealing with something, so you're not slamming the fever down every few hours. You're actually allowing the body to fight. It fights much quicker, and usually within about, not even a day, they're all better. So let's talk, though, this natural remedy, because you don't want to just, you need to get the body better. Let's give it some defense. So I really got into learning about coconut oil, and if you want a really good book, if you like learning like I do, this book called The Coconut Oil Miracle is fantastic. It explains why coconut oil is so incredible in many different aspects. It explains the type of fat that it is. It's not the artery clogging fat. It's a really healthy medium chain fat. And it goes through that. So like I said, if you like knowing that, fantastic, or you can skim. It's got lots of different sections, and it talks about yeast and how coconut oil kills yeast and what yeast does in the body. And so you can see where I kind of got into this. Now there's a part I want to read to you, and it talks about coconut oil, a super antimicrobial. Here's this little paragraph. It says, when coconut oil is eaten, the body transforms its unique fatty acids into powerful antimicrobial powerhouses capable of defeating some of the most notorious disease-causing microorganisms. Even the super germs are vulnerable to these life-saving coconut derivatives. The unique properties of coconut oil make it, and this is the part I want you to listen to, write this down, in essence, a natural antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, and antiprotozoal food. Guys, did you hear that? That's all bases loaded. Antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. That's pretty much, those three are pretty much the cause of any time we're not feeling well. So if I just read to you that this will knock them out, right? So here's what I do. We do use a lot of coconut oil. I even put it in smoothies, 2 huge heaping tablespoons. And so I buy coconut oil in bulk in a pail because we use it. I mean, you can use it in your hair, you can use it as a lotion, you can use it in the kids' bath, in your own. We use it in baking, a lot actually in baking, and this book has some really fantastic recipes so that you want to take in about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil a day. And one of my favorite recipes, I just want to quickly find the name, is called coconut banana bread. Absolutely delicious, and you're getting your daily recommended servings. You can make that in muffins, you can make it in bread, whatever you want to do. So there's lots of recipes in the book. So I buy it by the pail, and then I also have vitamin C crystals that looks like this. So it is in a crystal form. It's not capsules. It's powder. Make sure I don't spill it here. Okay. You want the crystals, you don't want a capsule. This one specific is, it says 200 times 2,000 milligram servings. So let me just, I'm just trying to see how much is in. Yeah, so there's 2,000 milligram in a serving. Does that sound right? Okay, anyways, I don't know. It's the kind I've always used. You just go to your local health food store and you can find this. So here's what I do. Someone says, Mom, I have a scratchy throat. I don't feel good. My stomach's a little bit upset. They know right away. I always say, meet me in the kitchen. They know exactly what corner here to stand in this. So what I do, and I'm going to show you. So I get my coconut oil pail out. And I'm going to make up this mixture. Okay, so I'll do... Okay, about a huge tablespoon like that. I don't measure. I just like, sometimes I do a little more. Okay, like huge. Don't take just a little bit, take quite a bit. And then because you don't, I mean, some people take it in like this, but I can't. So then what I do is I get a cup of water. I'll fill it with some hot water. I'll put my coconut oil, my tablespoon in here, and then I'll just sit it in here like this. To liquefy the coconut oil, you don't want to microwave it, you don't want to do anything like that. So you'll just put it in some hot water and whatever, you know, kind of like when you're making chocolate, you don't want it to burn. And so once you just stir it with a spoon, it liquefies really quickly. You can see I have a jar. The house is quite warm right now. I think it's about 23 degrees in here, so you can see that I have liquid coconut oil just from sitting in the cupboard. So now I have my liquid coconut oil. That's my heaping tablespoon. Now what I do is I take just like a teaspoon. These are my spoons from Belgium. These are actually called soft spoons. I just wet the end here. And then I will take it and I will just dip it. Give it like a really good solid dip. So you can see, like, it's not that I have a pile of it on here, but I'll just do a really good dip till it sticks on there. It's hard to tell. That might work out to about maybe a quarter teaspoon. And then I'm going to mix it right now with my coconut oil. Woo, just splashed on myself. Okay, it's gonna turn like, do you see that? It's a little bit like a milky color. You just want to stir it until it dissolves. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this, and you can see there's not a ton in here, right? There's a little bit. You can either add a little bit of water to this and take it like a shot, or you can add, what we really like to do is we buy pineapple juice that is just fresh squeezed pineapple juice, no additives, no nothing. I will, to make it easier for the kids, I will just top it up a little bit. So I'll put, if I'll take my spoon out of here, I'll put like maybe to here, like kind of double it up. And then I give them a straw. We get those big IKEA straws, and you need to keep mixing this the whole time so it doesn't settle with your juice or whatever. And like I said, just a little bit of juice. You don't want a lot of sugar in there. So mix it up, and while I'm mixing the whole time, they're sucking it up through the straw, and I make them move the straw around so that they're like sucking every single corner. It takes a couple minutes, not even. So we do this, and we do this 3 times a day when they aren't feeling well. Do it in the morning, and do it around lunchtime, and do it again at bedtime. The other thing that we do, depending on where they're not feeling good, so if it's their throat that's bothering them, if it's their stomach, depends what's not feeling well, I will also rub quite a large amount of coconut oil on the location, because as this book, here's the book again, and if you guys want to know the author, Bruce Fife, I'll take a picture and put it in the comments. What he talks about too is we absorb coconut oil through the skin, and so you put it next to the most affected area that you're struggling with. And so if you do this 3 times a day, and you also rub coconut oil on the affected area, you have yourself a natural antibiotic. And I have used this time and time again. We've cleared up strep throat that went to scarlet fever, and then just all the basic, you know, little bugs that come around. But since we've been on Plexus, I've rarely even had to use this, because we're just not getting sick. So that's awesome. One more thing I'm going to show you, just got to give me a second here. I do love essential oils, and there's 2 other ones someone was just asking me today that I use when we don't feel well, or if the kids have something come up. Doesn't have to be this brand, but I use Young Living and Thieves. Thieves is fantastic. So when you are rubbing the coconut oil on topically, I will put an amount in my hand and 1 drop of oil, mix those together and rub it on. So the throat, the stomach, wherever you need it. The other one that we use the most is just peppermint oil. Same thing, Young Living. And what we do with that always needs a carrier oil, so always put it in coconut oil first. Don't put it direct on the skin. Same thing I will do across the neck. When there's a situation with a fever, tops and bottoms of the feet, coconut oil and peppermint oil. I'll do it about once every hour until that fever comes down. I don't know why that works, but it does work. I learned that from some crunchy mama somewhere. And anyways, I hope that helps you guys. You know, health is a package, right? There's more than one way to get healthy. You hear me talking about Plexus nonstop in here. We've got this hugely exciting sale coming up. So Plexus balances the inside, balances the sugars, keeps our immunity strong, right? Oils help when we're having a symptom, when we've got a fever, when we're not feeling good. We need to just help the body fight. Same with coconut oil. It's a protector. The diet, the food that we're choosing. So that's why I'm just always really open and honest. So there are multiple tools in our toolkit, and we need to utilize them all. So the more that we can do that, then, and these are, yeah, Julie, these are totally easy things to do. So tag someone else that you know that has kids. We all, you know, we go for antibiotics, and I always see people cringing like I don't know what else to do. I don't want to use them. But like I said, there is a time and a place in life-saving situations. I'm just talking about just, you know, day to day and those not so serious things that can really keep us. Who wants to sit in the doctor's office? Nobody, not me for sure. So anyways, I will check later if you guys have questions, but I hope that helps, and have a great day.